So were you aware of anyone who got raped in your buildings?
There was one guy who had he was a friend, and he'd got in a fight of some kind.
Yeah.
There was, as far as I know, he didn't tell me any of this. I went and researched it and tried and investigate myself.
Yeah.
And he was in some debt with some problems, so some guy had been beaten on him a few times to get this money back. Yeah. And then he was a really lively guy, and then for a month period he said almost nothing at all to anyone. Yeah. So I was suspicious of that. Yeah. But I couldn't find out, like, narrow it down to anything less than a dozen people. Yeah. Like who he might be associated with. But I had suspicions, but no, I never got confirmation of anything. I kind of think that must have been what happened, because he didn't get beaten up that much. Yeah. He got beaten a little bit. He had like a black eye, but it seemed more like it was psychological than anything else. So other than that, nothing though really.
Because Zena got gang raped when he came in, and he was big. He was weightlifting, and he was debt collecting for the Aryan Brotherhood, and they turned against him, and they gang raped him multiple times. Shoved a broomstick in his behind. Gang raped him while he was unconscious, and I said to him, "How do you know if they were raping you if you're unconscious?" And his response was, "When I went to the toilet afterwards, I could tell by what came out." And the way he ended up stopping it was he was studying anatomy, and he basically said to the gang, "I don't care if I'll ever die anymore." And the next 2 times they attacked him, the first member to grab him, he plucked their eyeball out, so it was dangling from the optic nerve.
Like hanging out here?
Hanging out there, and it does not go back in, and it's never normal again. I mean, I'm sorry, it does go back in, but it's never normal again.
I see, yeah.
Yeah, messes your vision up, messes your eyeball up.
Yeah,
and I didn't believe you could possibly do that. But now I do karate now. It's called a chicken beat strike, where you just like that.
And it kind of makes sense. I can imagine that.
Pops their eye out very, very rapidly. He also had a friend who was gang raped, and they took a light bulb, shoved it in his backside, and smashed it while it was in there. And another one who was gang raped and decapitated.
Fuck.
They took a shovel from the work crew, held him down, and cut his head off with it. And then they positioned the head in an area of the prison where the rival gangs would see it to make the point they were the baddest gang.
Wow, that is ridiculous. Yeah. It's crazy, like, just some of them other points you were making. I often think, like, how did people survive that? Like, how have they lived through that? 'Cause it's like it's so on the edge of being like a fatal injury. I mean, they're all potentially fatal injuries. Yeah. Obviously, decapitation. Yeah. But I'm just like, I'm so shocked that like people can go through that and live past it, you know.
Well, when you look in Zena's face, you can just see in Zena's eyes the horrific things that Zena's experienced.
Yeah,
it's just written all over her face.
Wow, some things you can't unlive or forget, I guess, but